where we covered a topic that is very trending and very important at the moment on the platform. Um, Noemi hopefully is gonna join me here in the comments in a bit so that I can add her. But maybe I'm gonna start share a bit more about what's going on at the moment on Substack. Why on Substack Notes you might see so many sharing now. You know how important it is to create a back up plan and have like a backlog of your all your posts and stories there. And Naomi, if you are in the comments, I would need you to say hi. Hello, hi, Karen. Hi, Cliffhead, and all the others here. I would need you to say hi, okay? Otherwise, I can't add you. I guess that Naomi is going live for the first time, so she didn't know how to accept my invite. That's the reason. But for now, let me start. Today, I wanted to also show you a new feature on Substack, but it didn't work, unfortunately, for us today. But I'm going to show this in the next live session because I can now also show you, like in the back end or here in the front, my screen, which is new. And this is a new feature. I have access to it. I'm going to show you exactly this. And so for now, I'm gonna, maybe, show you the screen or just like read what I said there in the blog post. And Naomi, if you're watching this, I would need you there in the comments so that I can add you. Okay. So hopefully Naomi's gonna join us in a bit. Okay. So just a few seconds ago, I sent a newsletter to the Online Writing Club Stripe where I said, oh no, how to not lose all your paid subscribers with one wrong click. Your 10-minute backup plan to avoid the gut punch. Lucy Werner, she's the one we're going to talk about today. Lucy Werner from Hype Yourself faced because Substack offers 0 warranties. And these 0 warranties, this is exactly what we want to talk about with ex-lawyer Naomi in a sec from Denmark. But maybe since Naomi hasn't joined us yet, I'm gonna start and share a bit more about what's happened there with Lucy. Okay, so you might know Lucy already from Hype Yourself. This is all about hyping yourself up, being seen not only on Substack but of course on all social media platforms. She's like with me. We're on the same page with that your brand, your personal brand, is like the most valuable asset when it comes to your online business and your part-time business. However, I would also say that our email list is also like the most valuable asset combined with our personal brand, because this email list is the foundation for everything. Okay. And what happened to Lucy is something that we definitely need to share more on the platform, because Lucy was already like the top 50 in business globally. She was at a point where she had 13,000 subscribers and she was earning about $4,000 with her newsletter. And she was also about to hit her goal of more than 1,001 paying subscribers, which then would be that she would become like from the white badge, she would have become then the orange badge owner. Okay, so this was, or she was thinking she would hit this huge milestone. But what happened then was that one day she thought she would like simply wanted to tidy up her Substack page. As she said in her post, on Tuesday, 6th May, I was just about to draft my post for this upcoming Sunday. As I looked at my publication page on Substack, I thought it looked a bit cluttered. I turned on the podcast section a few months back and posted 2 short videos, but they took up space on my main page. So I thought I would just have a little tidy and remove it. I deleted my podcast in settings in a super relaxed and controlled manner. And guess what happened next? She deleted her podcast section, and in an instant, everything disappeared. Everything disappears. And again, she just deleted her podcast section. So for instance, everyone here who's also having a podcast or accidentally starting a podcast because you start sharing audio posts or video posts, and then Substack apparently thinks we're starting a podcast. If you are deleting anything on Substack at the moment, it could happen. Apparently there's a bug, and it's like a thing that is on a bug that affects like the whole platform there. And it could happen that your subscribers numbers go down. Maybe you also like delete your whole publication as Lucy Werner. And this is why we're here today for this spontaneous live here at 1 p.m. my time here in Germany. And also hopefully Naomi is going to join us, because Naomi and I, she's a tribe member, we talked about this exact thing a few weeks back already, where we were discussing Substack's terms of conditions. And it's really not about like that we want to tell you, hey, you have to leave Substack. This is definitely not what it's about. 100%, we're loving your platform. And I'm also like now as a non-native, as you can hear, I belong now to the top 25 Substack publications. And yesterday, for instance, got an amazing opportunity through writing here and so many others when I have my interviews and everything. So I'm super, super grateful for this platform. I think it's amazing. Okay. But I think for the Online Writing Club, it's always about educating you and inspiring you. Okay. And in this case, it's really about educating you and also inspiring you to create this backlog. But since I wanted to do this with Naomi, I'm gonna, and for her, it's the first time, I'm gonna send her here a quick direct message because I have the feeling otherwise she won't join us. Naomi, if you are already here, I'm telling her I'm in, waiting for you, live already. Okay, I'm telling her one more time. Otherwise, I'm just gonna like cover her part then. Okay, so again, she really, she really deleted like every single subscriber without that she wanted to do this. Every post was gone. There was no warning. She said there is a danger zone, for instance, on Substack. There was no danger zone, nothing. And yeah, and usually, let's say if you delete something on Substack or on another platform, you would then have to confirm this. Okay, so like saying confirmed or anything. This wasn't showing up with her. So yeah, Lucy, from one moment to the next, she lost like her whole subscribers, her whole paid subscribers. And again, she was already earning $4,000 per month with her Substack newsletter, and also was almost like hitting this orange badge with more than 1,000 subscribers. So I saw this on Substack notes, and I was like, oh my God, she was sharing, apparently she can't like recover this and everything. And what she did, and which I think is amazing from Lucy, she also has kids in the house and everything. And apparently she's at the moment solo parenting because her hubby isn't there. Lucy didn't quit. Maybe she started crying or whatever, but she didn't quit. She rallied and she went public with it. And yesterday she shared a post saying, deleting my podcast wiped my publication. Welcome to Hype Yourself 2.0. Oh yeah. And there is Naomi. Okay, Naomi, I'm now inviting you to join. I think this is super brave that she did this. And also what I love is the Substack community, because the Substack community, her friends, her super fans, they showed up for her big time. She got more than 500 likes, 200 comments, about 200 restacks with this, and so many others sharing now their stories and sharing how important it is. I also can show you one of many examples, because Lucy is not the only one. Apparently, there are many who this has happened to. Okay, so the key takeaway here is really, number one is, of course, if this is gonna happen to you, the first thing you have to do is not wait for the Substack bots to get back to you. Oh, cool, there's Naomi.
Hi.
Hi, Naomi. Cool. So Naomi is now here for our super spontaneous meeting, but not so super spontaneous, since Naomi and we talked already a few weeks back about the exact thing that happened now with Lucy Vanna. And we want to talk about the terms of conditions on Substack and so on. Naomi, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for. Did I invite myself or did you invite me? Because I can't remember.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess you invited me somehow, because on Substack notes today you shared something like, I wanted to talk with Christina about this, and I was like, wow, she's right. We wanted to do this, but maybe today, we have to do this because it's on the agenda at the moment on Substack, and everyone is talking about it. And Naomi, just to set the scene, I already started sharing with everyone what is going on with Lucy Vanna at the moment. And I started, that you know the story, but that Lucy really went from like having 13,000 subscribers and almost getting the orange badge to, from one moment to the next, having no subscribers and losing the badge and everything. She was really at zero. And I was just in the middle of saying how amazing it is that she, although she's a mom and she's at the moment solo parenting and everything, she really decided to keep going and fighting for her hype yourself a Substack publication. And with her story, she got more than 500 hearts, 200 comments, about 200 restacks, and many friends and super fans of her supported her, which now of course helped her because she could now gain back her white badge, her bestseller badge. And I saw, when I checked for the story I wrote this morning, I saw that she's now also back at 12,000 subscribers and growing, I guess, because so many people started sharing this and saying, Lucy, I love your Substack publication. I definitely have to like resubscribe. However, um, yeah, we don't want this to happen.
I read, I think it was Sarah Fay that was talking about it, and they said that Substack actually helped Lucy and gave her a CSV export of her subscribers. It wasn't all of them, but it was enough to, still get the badge back up. And she also recovered a part of her paid subscribers, but not all. I think she was still missing like 40 or something like that. So I'm very happy that even though it's a terrible thing that happened, she got a lot of it back. And at least we get to learn from it because shit will happen. Excuse my French. We need to know how to move forward.
Yeah. And the thing here, why we're meeting Naomi today is really we don't want to come to this point where we have to like rebuild. We want to be the ones who are building, smart right from the start. And that's why together with Naomi, maybe we can start with the terms of conditions on Substack with you, Naomi, and then maybe go a bit deeper into how we can create, like in just a few minutes, a backlog of all our stories, our subscribers, and everything. So maybe you can share a bit more about you because I know how awesome you are because you're an ex-lawyer. Maybe you can share a bit more about this and also about your story, how we, connected.
Sure. So this is very live and very unplanned. I was playing volleyball until an hour ago. Then I quickly showered and got myself ready to be here. So excuse me for maybe rambling. Let's see what happened. So my name is Naima Petri. I'm, yes, an ex-lawyer. I used to work in IT, helping companies build, get revenue, stay healthy, avoid risk, grow. Some became unicorns, some became hyper growth IT companies on their way to unicorns. So I've had like a lovely career helping businesses build and grow. And then I realized at one point, I also burned out a little bit trying to achieve a lot of things and having become also a mother and wanting to play at the same pace I did before, which is a bit too much to ask sometimes. Anyhow, then I realized that I say this all the time. You are the CEO of your own life. You decide how you want to run your career, what your next steps are. You don't need to follow the beaten path. So in that kind of spirit, I resigned from my job last December. I used to be head of legal of a IT company that was also a privacy solution. I was organizing a lot of events related to privacy with a lot of lawyers, and I loved it a lot. But the role became a lot of a sales role, which really didn't fit my personality or matched what I wanted to do. So I did the brave and scary thing and quit my job. And I told my boss that I love and respect that I needed some me time. And then a month later, I created Me Time, the Substack publication, and I started with kind of life coaching and getting people at the place where they can. Me time is about taking time for yourself to plan, to decide, and not just react to what life is throwing at you. Because if you don't plan, if you don't make intentional choices, your life will be a storm of other people's choices, of other people's opinions, and you're just going to be kind of a passenger in this kind of journey. And we want to be the steer the ship of our own life. And that's where it all started. And then because I'm a lawyer and I was on Substack and I was writing more kind of like life coach things, very soon I got curious about the terms and conditions of Substack. And just to kind of see what it was. I didn't have that many subscribers. I wasn't making any revenue. So for me, it was just kind of a fun, let me check under the hood kind of thing. And then I realized that the terms and conditions that Substack have that you can find if you look at your publication and you scroll all the way to the back, there's going to be like a trademark thingy, copyright thingy, 2025, then your name. And then underneath, there's Substack, there's privacy, there's terms, there's collection notice. If you're good and you follow my advice, you would have your own publisher terms that would go right on top of that. And there's a functionality to do it in the Substack. But anyhow, I looked at the Substack terms. I don't know if you want to stop me and ask questions or I keep on rambling.
No, I think you can keep on rambling. I like this.
Great. So
But
basically,
I can share on the other screen. I can share the terms of conditions here. I was already what I shared was Naomi, that I wanted to try this new feature, but I couldn't do this. Or apparently it's not really working if I'm doing this with someone else. So that I could share my screen and also talk. But this is what I wanted to try, but it didn't work, and so I can't do this right now. But I gonna just take my phone and then share my screen here. Yeah. Okay. So keep talking, and I'm gonna share the terms and conditions here so that everyone sees them. Yeah.
Substack terms and conditions really discuss the relationship between you and Substack. So you as a user of the platform and Substack, the company that's providing the platform, which means there's nothing there about your relationship with your subscribers, what you expect, unsubscribes, things like that. Um, and in a way, that's very normal. One, because they're creating a creator type of environment where you can do a lot of different things, and they cannot really get a lawyer to put in their terms and conditions all the things you could imagine to do in your own Substack, which means they said, okay, we're going to create a contract between us and the publisher, the person that's patient with us, and then it's their job to create their own. So if you go into, I don't know if Christina, you want to follow my lead and we can share where you go. But basically, should I go?
You mean this part with the no warranties?
Sure.
Yeah.
Basically, let's go back a little bit to Lucy's story. She pressed on a functionality that wasn't supposed to do anything terrible. And she deleted her podcast, but with that, everything else went away. And then one of my followers, she posted saying Substack should take responsibility for the error. This is a functionality flaw, and they should compensate Lucy for all the lost revenue and so on and so forth. And well, I haven't looked at the Substack terms in more than a month when I created my terms and conditions generator. But I quickly went on the terms and conditions to kind of give some very substantial and topical reasons why Substack shouldn't really or doesn't owe Lucy anything. And I want to first say that Substack is not doing anything evil or unnatural or anything strange. This is very normal. I've worked in the IT business for the past decade, more than that. And it's really common that in your terms and conditions as a platform provider, especially when you're not paying anything to be there for the longest time, you only pay when you start getting some revenue, that they're going to really protect their business by not accepting a lot of liability. So what it says right now, when Christina was showing the no warranties section, is very normal. What it says basically is you get what you see. If there's errors within the platform, we're not gonna be liable for whatever happens to you there. And that's really normal. And I'm going to explain why. When you're a software provider, you work on this agile um, workflow, which means you're constantly updating your platform. You're constantly adding functionality. That takes a lot of effort to create, to test, and then put out. And it's quite normal that there's going to be errors and flukes and things that are unexpected. You can invest a lot of time as a business trying to do a lot of QA, which is quality assurance and testing that the software before production will work properly, but you cannot guarantee that it's perfect. You never know. And unfortunately, Lucy found a quite big bug that I'm sure Substack now is scrambling to fix. The other thing in the terms and conditions is the limitation and liability section. So I don't know if you want to look for it and bring it up. I'm going to
Yeah,
to
I'm just searching for limitations and all liability. Yeah. This one? terminating your something like this?
Mhm. Limitation. I'm looking for it on my side. So,
Yeah, or what you can do is also, Naomi, that you're sharing your screen. Then just go on this the cycle icon there. I guess you can do this too.
there, there's a section that's literally called limitation and liability. I cannot do it because I'm only on my phone and I can get the invite on my laptop.
I see.
It's difficult for me to do it. But if you write limitation liability, you can show it to you to whoever's viewing. But the point of what
There it is. Yeah.
exactly perfect. The thing about limitation on liability is it's the key section in any terms and conditions for anyone to limit how much risk you're willing to take out of a relationship with one user or one customer. So if your relationship with a customer doesn't create any revenue for you, then they limit the liability to $100. So whatever happens, if you try to sue them and complain or something, they're like, max, what we're going to give you is $100. You don't pay us anything. If you start creating revenue, max that you're going to get is whatever you've earned by Substack within the previous 12 months from the incident that created your claim. And if you want to think about it a bit more strategically, sometimes we need to think, do we want to maintain the relationship with Substack or do we want to go to court and complain about these things to Substack? And many, many companies, very big companies, avoid going to court, avoid creating claims because it's expensive. What's going to happen next is not guaranteed. That's why a lot of issues get settled at a court where people just sit down around a table and figure out a solution. And the reason for that is you don't want to go to court. You don't want to ruin a relationship, one that could be beneficial. If you're a huge creator on the platform, you're not going to sue your platform where you're like making all your money because something terrible happened with the platform. And from what I hear with Substack, they were very kind and they got the CSV file back to Lucy to get to recover a lot of her followers. And I think also this whole storm is going to bring her much more followers, kind of knowing her name and what she does. I have something that I call an unfortunate event, but things happen. But that's the thing. If something terrible would happen with your Substack, the max amount that you're going to get is whatever you made within the last year. And that's not going to be a lot. It's not going to cover the lawyer's fees. That's never covered, especially if you're in the US. And I know a lot of the users on Substack are normally based there. And that kind of takes me a little bit to why you should have your own terms and conditions. First of all, when you don't have your own company, all the activities that you provide via Substack, if you have like a little community and you provide something that could be construed as either because you're talking about crypto or investment, or because you're a lawyer and you're talking about lawyer stuff, or because you're a psychologist or a doctor, or anything that it can be uh, construed as professional advice. That means you're also liable for what you say. People rely on what you say and make decisions within their own life, and then something bad happens. That's why you should always try to have at least a disclaimer somewhere in your about page, please, saying what you say is information only and so on and so forth. Then, what I really advise you to have is to create your own terms and conditions. And if Christina can follow my lead with what I say, if you, for example, go in your dashboard and go into settings and go to the privacy section.
Yeah, let me check. This is why I love the new feature here, because then I can then do it differently with sharing the screen and myself here. Where do you want to go? Dashboard and then
Settings.
settings? Okay. Yes, I can share this.
Go to privacy.
Mhm. This is a nice hack because many are asking me, where can I find this and that? You can just search for it, okay? Then you can go to privacy. Okay, there we are.
And then you're gonna see a lot of different stuff. But at the very bottom is custom terms of service and custom privacy policy, which means, and we're talking here about custom terms of service. Terms of service are basically a contract between you and your subscribers. And because I noticed that gap when I first joined just for fun, I figured why not create terms of service? And why should people have that for their own Substack? If you're some sort of coach, if you're some sort of psychologist that is providing online services, doctor, crypto guy or girl, investment guru, if you're talking about business advice, about how to grow, how to build a business, and you give advice, it's really important to have terms there to protect either your business or yourself from liability. So, exactly how Substack limited their liability to €100 or max what you paid in the previous 12 months, you can do the same for your subscribers. So your subscribers know that you're doing your best to provide advice, but you're also protecting yourself from, something that would have repercussions that are way beyond the time and the effort and your role in the whole decision. People need to make decisions for themselves. What we try to do here is very limited because every circumstance is different. People's risk profiles are different. What they want to do with their money is different. How they want to run their business is different. So you cannot really give a perfect advice that anyone could take and they're gonna just be stellar. Stuff happens. Sometimes it seems like the thing that went wrong is because of the advice you were given, but situations are always much more complex than that. So having terms and conditions that basically say, I'm gonna pay max €1,000 and anything else is banned because we have this agreement between you and me. You can also speak about refunds. I've heard these kind of stories. I don't know if they're true. They're not directly related to me, but some people that were subscribers and then they unsubscribed, trying to, I don't know, there were some issues with refunds and things like that. You can create a refund section in your terms and conditions and say no refunds, or say refunds just for live meetings or stuff like that that I missed, but nothing else. You decide how to do it and take really much more control over your publication, over the risk you want to take, especially if you don't have your own company. When you have your own company, the company's activities have their own kind of budget and the losses, and then you can go bankrupt. When you're talking as a private person, all you own is on the line with you and what comes out of your mouth, which is why everyone that is considering that they're providing advice. I was talking to someone that is doing like a sex life podcast, but they also recommend some supplements and some products and stuff like that. What if someone gets a huge rash or an allergy, and then the person decides that from the podcast is responsible and tries to go after her? And it's not really fair, right? So that's why we need to protect ourselves. And also, the way I drafted the term that I'm suggesting people should have, but of course, in consult another lawyer, ask ChatGPT if you want. Um, it's to protect yourself from these kind of situations, and then you can also create on top kind of an explanation what terms are, what intention is, and also I have in my terms. You can go actually on my page, Christine, and show them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called terms. They're right on top of the Substack, at the very bottom of the page.
Ah, bottom of the page. Terms?
Yeah. Publisher terms
What?
are the Substack ones.
Ah, this one in gray. You can't really see them. Yeah, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a term summary. And that's because I know that a lot of my subscribers and a lot of people on Substack don't really understand legalese. So then I wanted to create some bullet points to kind of explain what I'm writing about and try to make it as friendly as possible so people really understand, even if they don't go through the trouble of looking at the whole thing. I created these terms specifically for Substack and a bit the context that I'm having, which is being a coach and providing advice. But on the back of that, I've created actually a template that I trained a chatbot, an AI chatbot, to generate terms and conditions for you for in under 10 minutes. There's 6 questions you need to answer, and then you have your terms at the other side. And the way you get those terms and conditions from me is you subscribe to my publication. You can do a monthly subscription, or for slightly, maybe $10 more, yearly subscriptions. And with that, you get access to the terms and conditions as either a normal document or the generator with the 6 questions. And then you also have office hours with me, which is 3 hours every Wednesday. You can book me for 20 minutes. So once you've created your terms, you can talk to me and ask your questions. If you have doubts, if you feel like you might need to add something else, we can talk about it together and figure it out. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. And I think it's an easy way to prevent you from reaching a situation that's really unpleasant and nobody wants to deal with.
Yeah, and if we are lazy, as most of us are, could we also like copy and paste your stuff here? Would you allow us to do this?
No,
If
that's
we are a coach, or I don't know, for instance, Suzanne, I know that you were talking with Suzanne Noble about this. She's sharing sex advice for seniors, for instance, something like this. Or would it be, yeah, maybe you could share a bit more about this, because many watching this right now might then think, okay, I just can copy and paste this here.
technically any person can do whatever they want. That's kind of against my terms and conditions to copy my content and create it for yourself. So the proper way to do it is to subscribe to me and for this paid subscription and get your access to your terms. Another reason for that is that what I created is very particular for me, and the terms that I created for subscribers are a bit more general to a point where it really fits almost any type of publication. And then my name and the name of my publication is present in a lot of the different parts of those terms.
Oh.
Make it very confusing if you miss one and then all of a sudden my name pops up in your terms. So, go mile and create the proper terms. But again, I cannot do what I think is the best way to go about it. You can also be super brave and just ask ChatGPT to create terms for you. ChatGPT doesn't know about Substack. I'm not sure what it's going to create, but let me create
Mhm.
a scale of what you could do. First, nothing terrible. Then at least a disclaimer in your about page about the fact that you're not providing legal advice. But that disclaimer should also come on every little post at the bottom and newsletter at the bottom. There's now create a standard foot what you're sending out where you have disclaimer if you're providing legal advice or advice, professional advice. Second best is to ask ChatGPT or another what else? DeepSeek, Claude, whatever you fancy, to help you draft terms. And that's again better than nothing. And the the better option, use my generator. It's created by a lawyer who knows about stuff. What we do, that there's a podcast, that there's newsletters, that there's advice, that there's live events, there's all these things, and how to kind of set up and protect the people creating these terms. And then the ideal situation is to book a meeting with a lawyer, sit down face to face, what your business is about, and create super custom terms for exactly what you do that fits your empire and what you're trying to build. So that's kind of the scale. A little disclaimer, ChatGPT created terms and conditions, my terms and condition generator that are going to be customized for a Substack experience and the name of your business and where you're located, things like that, like a mini lawyer in your pocket. Or lastly, find a lawyer that you love and trust. You can also book me through my page. There's a link to my Stan store where you can book me for an hour. I don't know if in an hour I'll be able to draft terms and conditions for you, but there's an option. And basically work with someone to protect your business. You're never going to regret it once something terrible is happening. because you're going to save so much money, worry. And the first thing I did when I created my business is terms and conditions. I'm going out on my own. I don't want to lose all my savings because I maybe mess up once. So I created terms and conditions, slapped it on my Substack, even if I didn't have much advice at that point. I was like, it's for so I can sleep well at night.
Yeah, I love this that you can, put your head on the pillow at night and can sleep well. I love this, Naomi, so much. I definitely gonna share. Maybe you can. We were talking about this, a guest post. We were talking about the guest post, or maybe even do like another live inside the club or so, where we can share more. And I also love this generator. There are so many AI fuel generators at the moment. I think this might be like the foundation of everything. A generator you definitely need to know. And again, this is not an affiliate or anything. This was just Naomi and I talking via direct messages, and now joining here today for the first time. She's from Denmark. I'm from Germany. And I think this was amazing, wonderful, valuable. I saw this here in the comments. So many people shared their thoughts here, and even like big publishers, also people with orange badges joined us here, which is amazing to see. And this is the interesting thing here with Substack. There are some people coming from so many, like I was talking about categories, like these 28 categories we have on Substack, from technology to education, whatever. But you never know where this. And there's my little one. Hello, no, I'm on live. No, Benjamin, don't show your face, please. This is like spontaneous going live. Okay, apparently he wants to tell me something. Wait a sec. Did you hurt yourself? Hast du dir wehgetan? Nein, 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 nein. Hast du dich verletzt?
Do you want to sit up
Aua
and
gemacht?
deal
No,
with?
everything fine. No, I just want to gehst du mal da runter, Schatz? Yeah, today is a soccer play, and yeah, as I shared with Naomi, now I have to go to soccer. But wir haben noch 10 Minuten, Schatz. Gehst du noch mal kurz runter? Oh, oh, this is, when someone asking me how I'm doing it, this is how I'm doing it. But yeah, this is why I'm not going live during the day. But again, I think it's amazing what Naomi created there. I definitely gonna share this. Okay, so please check it out on Naomi's page. In addition, just to sum it up, I wanted to add some more things here because, again, what I wanted to share is here. Naomi, she's an ex-lawyer. I'm coming from PR and marketing, so we all have different perspectives on things, especially on, for instance, about pages, where we now know, okay, we definitely need our, own terms and conditions. Yeah, something is with his hand. I don't know. I guess it's very important. Okay, but there are three more things I definitely want to tell. I want to tell you about, but just I'm going to share my screen again. Okay. So in this post, I shared a few, and he's now looking like, oh, what's this mama talking? She's like, I don't know. He always, if someone is speaking in another language, he's always saying, this is English. So today I said this one here. Oh no, how to not lose all your paid subscribers with one wrong click. We had Naomi here joining us today. We were talking about Lucy, who lost all her no who lost all her paid subscribers and free subscribers on her with her newsletter. Luckily, she's now back at 12,000 and even became a bestseller again with the help of Substack. But we don't want you that this is going to happen. So we heard from Naomi what to do, and there are some more things which you can see here now, and I'm gonna improve this whole experience here with the live streams in the next live stream. Okay. So, but I can share my screen here. And so what you definitely have to do, this is like the thing that I tell all my tribe members from day one, is you go on your dashboard, super easy, you go on your dashboard, you click on subscribers. I bet many, especially new people, gonna check this like on a daily basis, or even, I don't know, hourly basis. So you go on your subscribers, see how many subscribers you have, check this, and then you go on export CSV. And with this, I would do this like on a monthly or even weekly basis. I would make this a non-negotiable, and maybe also, have a calendar alert there that reminds me. And I showed how to do this. No, you can't do this here. It's not working. But I show how to do this here. So you would select like all your subscribers. Okay, this is very important because the first thing you're gonna do is then if you check the box, it might say 50 subscribers, but then there's another box here saying, do you want to add all subscribers? Then you add all subscribers. Okay, this is a simple hack. And then you would click on here on the three dots and on export. And it's just like a few seconds. I tried it this morning, super, super easy, because I was also a bit, like I have to do this now and not on a monthly basis anymore. Then what I also would recommend, because we all have our Substacks connected to Stripe, is we can also save our Stripe income data. This is just a screenshot here from some income data here. This is not the actual CSV file, of course, but you can easily export the CSV from Stripe as well. You can choose to export successful payments, refunded payments, uncaptured payments, or all payments. Okay, this is something that I strongly recommend, and I added here some more details on it. Okay, and then the third thing I'm always doing is I subscribe to myself. Yes, you can do this. Then at least you have one subscriber there. And you can also add, or you can also name this like publication or backup email address. Also, my hubby, for instance, is on the list. So all my newsletters are going into my inbox, into a specific folder. And this folder is, for instance, called Substack Backup. I have this. This is the same with Medium, for instance. And I would highly recommend doing this so that you have like an archive. And there are also some, because my toddler is gone now, add-ons there. We have some more tips I can share. So I think this is like the number one pro tip here, okay? You can also, for instance, mass download your Substack posts and bring them to your own website. So although I am on Substack, I still see my my home on the internet is, of course, at the moment Substack. But I would want to know Google that my main platform is my website. Okay, so my website is the most important platform on the internet. You can check out legends like, for instance, Tim Denning, for instance. What he did was he posted on his website first, and then he posted on Medium. He's now also on Substack. He's a bestseller. And this is like a strategy I would recommend everyone. Okay, you can do this. You don't have to mass download it and then upload it. What you also can do is right from the start, if you just have like 5 posts or so, just repurpose them. You meaning like copy and paste them then to your own website, and make again your own website the home of your online business. And what I always say, like creativity hub, something like this. That this is the place. Okay. This is just an example here with the screenshots on my website then, okay? The same you can find on Medium and or on Substack. And then what you also can do is you can download your Substack notes. There is no such feature that is offering this, but there are some people, I don't want to promote here anyone, but there are some tribe members from the Online Writing Club who are offering this, that you just have to click a button and then they're going to help you with their services to just download your Substack notes. And some even now offer you to analyze your Substack notes then. Okay, I think this is a valuable feature so that you would also have your Substack notes. There are, for instance, now very huge people here joining Substack. You might have seen this already. Justin Welsh, for instance. We have Dan Cow. We have also Jay Klaus. People I really, really adore. And they, for instance, they are also like bringing their posts from X or other platforms they are creating to Substack now. Okay. And of course, they also have a system like this. Then I would always also take screenshots. Since I build in public and write in public, I of course share lots of my screenshots. I don't know, from my earnings, from not my subscribers, of course, but from my publication, how it looks like. And so I would always recommend taking screenshots in case you have to rebuild your newsletter. And then something that I often talk about is automation. So especially if you're doing this part-time, then I would definitely recommend automate your backups with Zapier. Okay, Zapier is super helpful. For instance, if someone becomes an annual subscriber, or if someone joins one of my boot camps, I have a Zapier automation so that it's connected to my Teachable or it's connected to my Substack, and so that people get then invited to my circle community. Okay, and the same is going to happen with Stripe. And we also get these. You can see this is always connected with Patrick, my hubby, because he's a software developer and he's like the tech nerd and tech guy here. So I always have the Zapier automation, and then I get notifications, lots of notifications about, subscribes, unsubscribes, who I connect, and so on, and also backups for Stripe. And then someone also shared this here with bookmark your RSS feed, and then also create like a backup of your RSS feed. I'm not an expert on this, so I'm going to share more about this in another post there with someone who truly understands this. Because the podcast is for me also new. Although, of course, when I was working for an agency or now in my corporate job, I also have to do, of course, with podcasting and so on. But now for my part-time business, it's a bit different. And so I'm going to share more about this. And then last but not least, I just wanted to tell you that this example from Lucy Vanna is not something that is super like unique or something that couldn't happen to you. There are many, especially huge Substack newsletters at the moment who are sharing this. So, for instance, we have here Law Wilbert, and she said, a similar thing happened to me last month. I lost 1,500 readers in 1 second. There was no danger zone or warning. When I messaged Substack for help, they offered none. Back up your list, friends. And then there are others. For instance, Dana, she reported that Laura McCoven had Substack cancel paid subscriptions when the subscribers themselves didn't initiate cancellation. This is something that has happened to me myself, that people said, hey, Christina, why can I access specific posts? What I also experienced was lately that I deleted, for instance, a video podcast, and then I had to be also my whole publication was gone or something. So I guess there are lots of bugs at the moment on Substack. And then we have also Chelsea Pittel-Mitzi. Sorry, hopefully this is correct. This is something that Lucy shared. A similar thing happened to Chelsea, although she still has her publication in data, it wiped all her posts. And one more thing I want to add here. We have here already one comment. And Chelsea, for instance, she replied already to my post. And she said that, to sum it up, she told me that she's super thankful for the help of Substack. And I guess similar to Lucy, Substack is definitely going to help you. So I guess, like, if you're in this nightmare situation where you're going to see, okay, apparently I lost all my subscribers, my whole publication is gone, all the content, then of course you're going on Substack notes, sharing, oh my God, but I guess, and I bet that Substack somehow, what I have experienced with Substack support, they're going to help you. But I hope that this live session, this spontaneous live session together with Naomi, really helped you to educate you on how important these terms and conditions are, how important it is that you understand what Substack as a platform can offer you, and what the platform can't offer you. You also have to keep in mind that you're not paying any money. You only, as Naomi said, you're only giving them this 10% cut. So on other platforms, you would pay for support and helping you, for instance, on Teachable, on this online course platform. They're going to help you with refunds and so on. They have a specific refund policy and so on. So I think this is very important. And Naomi, the thing you touched on too with the refunds, I think this is very important. But I'm not sure how much we actually can really do about it, because this is something that Substack is handling for us. So often I'm seeing this with the refunds. People just, are frustrated about me not replying to them within 24 hours and then saying, hey, I want to get a refund, something like this. So I'm not sure how much we actually can do with the refunds. Even if we say we're not giving you any refunds, I think that Substack easily gives these refunds. But maybe you know more about this with the refunds?
I'm not really sure about the refunds for exactly the Substack subscription, because a lot of things are made by a functionality. So you can say in your terms something, and then the functionality allows people to unsubscribe and get a refund. So it's always good to kind of match your terms with that. I don't have anything in terms of refunds in the terms, but space for your own refund policy. And what I created was something that refers more to something that you go on top of what you do as a subscription. So, for example, I'm doing coaching. So if someone purchases one-on-one coaching for my business, that's a link to a different platform where what kind of refunds am I offering where I'm managing it myself. So yeah, it's complicated. That's why just copy pasting is a bit of a two-sided sword, but you can try to figure it out and put it in plain English of what you can accept and what you don't, and just start from there. The worst thing you can do is just do zero, not do anything.
Yeah. 100%. So hopefully this just helped you, with all the tips and tricks we shared. And I love what you shared in one of your posts where you said, and also in the beginning of the session where you said, what did you say? We are the CEOs of our business and need to understand the advantages and risks that we take on in choosing any tech stack. It's very important. So this is not just a Substack thing. It's like a meta social media tech stack thing. Okay, this is very important. And that's why Naomi also shared on Substack Notes back up your work, back up your work, look at the terms and conditions before you get on a platform and understand what you are getting yourself into. Okay. So get your own terms and conditions to govern the relationship between your and your subscribers, community chat rules, refunds, warranties, limitation of liability, and much, much more. And then in addition with the tips and tricks I shared, how to create a backlog, I definitely think that you will be like future proofed. Your Substack newsletter will be future proofed, and also your business. Because again, as I started the session, I think besides your personal brand, your email list is the most valuable asset in your business, and we need to protect our business. So Naomi, I would say thank you so much for this wonderful live. This is going to be also one of the lives I'm gonna share with the Online Writing Club because I don't want to annoy anyone with my lives. But I'm gonna share this one because I think this is super important, and we also covered a lot of stuff. That with if I now take the time and write, I don't know, for 3 hours my newsletter, this is insane. So I would just then maybe later today already share this live here. And I would say thank you so much, Naomi. I'm so looking forward to the guest post, and check out Naomi's Substack newsletter, Me Time, because if you become a paid subscriber, of course, Naomi has a nice surprise for you, which is gonna help you. And I think, you know, there were so many golden nuggets there with Naomi. I don't know. Do you have like a last call to action or like a prayer for us? What's important for us on Substack right now?
I think knowledge is power. So go into the settings, become the master of that domain, figure out what they can do for you, learn. You can even ask, there's the chat, this Substack support chat, where it asks you it can help you with different things, like how do refunds work, for example. That's not in the terms and conditions. There's a different thing there in the chat. Figure out as much as you can about Substack. If this is your home and the home of your business, you're never going to regret knowing how to handle a lot of different situations. And then, talk to people, learn how they're doing it. If they're doing insurance for their business and for their Substack, think about that. Maybe it's a good price, and maybe it could be a good investment to have if you have a business where you're like making enough revenue to afford paying for insurances and things like that. Knowledge is power. And thank
It
you so
is definitely.
me today. And I'm holding sometimes some office hours. I'm gonna try to do it every week, if not every 2 weeks, where people can join in like a group setting and ask their questions, and then we all learn from one another. So that's another opportunity. And there's other amazing communities like Christina's, where there's similar things. I'm happy to join another time and go more deep into terms and conditions, what should be in there, like as a must have and what's a nice to have and things like that. We can decide. Maybe you guys can write to Christina and say what you'd be interested in really digging more deeply into. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, Christina. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'd say it was delightful. Thank you so much for more than 150 people joining us here today, which is amazing. Thank you so much for your time. And knowledge is key. So, keep being educated, keep up to date on Substack, and the Online Writing Club is the place to go. And also for all like terms of conditions and so on, then reach out to Naomi, which I think is amazing. And of course, if someone will ask me in the future, I'm always going to refer to Naomi. This is the cool thing about Substack, really, that you via the lives here. Naomi, what is the first live for you then?
I did a live with just myself once, just for fun, and then I recorded and shared it as my newsletter for the week. So it was very efficient. I loved it. But the first one that I share with someone else.
Super. So the first collaborative live then for Naomi, and it worked. So I guess whenever this live bug bites you, you're gonna start. Then we have one tribe member, Dana. I don't know whether Dana is here today too. During lunch break, or no, in America, this is way too early for her. But um, she went live once, and then she got bitten by this live stream bug, and now she's like live every day. So I hope this also encourage you, if you're thinking about live streaming, to collaborate with someone, especially if it's someone who knows who knows more than you, and is as you know is as well skilled and so professional as Naomi is. Okay, so greetings to Denmark, greetings to around the world. Thank you all so much for joining and also for the comments. Bye bye. See you in the next live session. Have a nice day. Bye, Naomi. Happy weekend. And happy volleyball playing.
I need to go get ready because I'm playing again soon. This was
Now.
and
Or what?
Friday is volleyball day.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I saw some photos on those. But we're still online, okay? Now we're 1 at 60. Bye bye. All the people here. Bye bye.